The writer I'd most like to be stuck on an elevator with is Jane Gardam, the English writer. I met Jane at Toronto some years ago at a festival, and we've become friends since then. I not only love her writing, but I particularly love something she taught me, and that is that you must allow the reader into the work. You must leave enough space for the reader to enter the work. So you don't explain everything in great detail, but you treat the reader as an intelligent person who can get into the text as well. Willa Cather, I think, the wonderful American writer, truly beautiful writer. Some years ago I was at a conference in Spain, and it was about the short story, and a man got up and asked a question about Willa Cather, and I was so impressed I went running along the corridor after him and touched him on the shoulder, and I said, you too like Willa Cather? And he said, yes, and he said, come with me, and we went into a lecture room, and we talked about Willa Cather for about 10 minutes, and it was just wonderful. I think I could recite. I'm terribly bad at remembering poems or anything like that, but I think I could recite a small poem by Robert Frost, whose title I've forgotten, but it goes something like, the heart can think of no devotion greater than being sure to the ocean, holding the curve of one position, counting an endless repetition. I think it sounds very old-fashioned, but I was very fond of the adaptation of the Palliser novels, the Trollope novels, many years ago now, but I thought they were superbly well done, and I'm a great fan of Trollope too. I think it's almost impossible to define. For me, a particular sort of happiness is when I've been writing. Not necessarily writing well, but just having that feeling that everything about me is functioning, my brain, my hands with the pen in them, just that lovely feeling of being totally expended and used up on the page. But there, of course, there are many, many forms of happiness. You can't just say this is happiness. There's just so many types of happiness. And sometimes we're happy for no apparent reason. We don't know why it is we feel happy. Yes, I think I would. Yes, I love writing so much. And I think with writing, the main pleasure is actually in the writing, the actual writing itself. That's what gives me happiness. And whatever happens to the work after that is a separate thing. They can give you pleasure too if it's published, but I think for a writer, happiness is writing. And if a writer doesn't write, they often feel slightly ill at ease, or slightly grumpy or something, or irritable, and then they realise what they should be doing is doing some more writing. Well, what I would like to do at the moment is go on writing more poems. I've had a very busy period, but I'd like to have more time to just slowly read and write poetry. And I think it's best done if I have quite a space of time to myself. And so far I haven't found it this year, but I'm hoping that I'll have a couple of quiet months and then can go on finishing a poetry collection I'm working on. I don't really know. I mean, when I was young I was very interested in ballet, and I did lots of ballet and got quite high up in that. And or I might have been a nurse or something like that, some sort of volunteer sort of work or something. But I think I knew I wanted to be a writer when I was quite little, really, but I didn't do anything about it. But yes, writing is the thing I really love doing. It's been very good, yes, very good. It takes a little while to find your way around in it, of course, but yes, I've enjoyed it.